Welcome to my video on simple tips to make breastfeeding easier for new moms. Hey, it's Morgan and welcome to the Passable Parent channel. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn notifications on so you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you so much for your support. Breastfeeding is an important and natural way to provide your baby with the nutrition and comfort they need. However, it can be challenging, especially for first-time moms. And every breastfeeding journey is different, so maybe you're a third-time mom and it's totally different and this breastfeeding journey is more difficult. It happens. Every journey is different. So these are some great tips. In this video, I'll share with you some simple tips to make breastfeeding easier for you and for your baby. The first tip is to ensure that your baby is latched deep enough while breastfeeding. This means that your baby's mouth should be about an inch deep on your breast, not just on the tip of the nipple. If your baby is only sucking on the nipple, it can be very painful and cause damage to your breast tissue. Make sure your baby's mouth is wide open and covering as much of the areola as possible. You don't want your baby to latch here. You want your baby to latch wider and around the areola as well. And I'm sorry I have to blur my breast model because YouTube gives strikes against any nipples showing if they are female. My second tip is to sandwich your breast to help fit into your baby's mouth. You're going to gently squeeze your breast and hold it like you're holding a sandwich so that your nipple is pointing up towards your baby's nose. This can make it easier for your baby to latch onto your breast and can help prevent nipple pain. And if you're dealing with nipple pain, I have linked down below for you in the description box my top breastfeeding products, including some that help really relieve that nipple pain. And I also made some great videos on how to survive cluster feedings in those first weeks of breastfeeding. So make sure to check it out. I'll link it up here for you. So again, sandwich your breast. Think of it like when you eat a sandwich, you push that sandwich down to get it in your mouth, right? You know, when you have a big sandwich, it can be hard. You're not just gonna, take it and not sort of push on it to help get it in your mouth. It's the same thing for breastfeeding your baby. They need some help too. So just sandwich that breast. Using my model, you can see, sandwich it down and help get it into baby's mouth, just like you would when you eat. My third tip for you is to bring baby to your breast. The third tip is to bring baby to your breast instead of leaning down towards your baby. This can help prevent back and neck pain, as well as make it easier for your baby to latch onto your breast. Use a comfortable breastfeeding support pillow like the My Breast Friend pillow, which is my absolute favorite and game changer with breastfeeding, which I link down below for you, to support your baby and help them stay in the right position while breastfeeding. Babies sometimes don't like their feet dangling, so this pillow offers a lot of support and can really help make baby comfortable for breastfeeding. My fourth tip for you is to make sure baby's mouth is open wide. Again, my final tip is to make sure that your baby's mouth is open wide and that their tongue is actually down so that way they can latch onto your nipple properly. When your baby is hungry, they will naturally open their mouth wide to latch onto your breast. Make sure to bring your baby close to your breast when they're in this position to ensure a good latch. You can entice baby to open their mouth wide by hand expressing, which I have a video on hand expression, I'll link it up here for you, a little bit of milk out of your breast, and you can sort of wipe your nipple on their upper lip right here or on their nose with that milk coming down to entice them to get that big open wide mouth. And as soon as you see that open wide mouth, immediately bring them onto breast. My fifth tip for you is to stay hydrated. It's really important to drink lots of fluids while breastfeeding to keep yourself hydrated. Keep a bottle of water or other non-caffeinated beverage nearby while nursing and drink until you're not thirsty anymore. Have water bottles everywhere, mama. You're gonna need them. My sixth tip is to switch sides. To avoid soreness and ensure that both breasts are being fully emptied, switch sides during each feeding. Start with one breast and then switch to the other after your baby has finished feeding on the first side. Typically, babies will nurse longer on the first breast, which I like to call dinner, and shorter on the second breast, which I like to call dessert. You're going to want to start off on the dessert side on your next breastfeeding session to keep things even and your milk supply up on both breasts. To keep track of this, a simple tip is to use a hair scrunchie. You just leave it on the wrist of the breast you're going to start off with in the next nursing session. My seventh tip for you is to practice relaxation techniques. Breastfeeding can be stressful and painful initially when you're just not used to it. But mama, you're gonna get tough, you're gonna get through this, and you're gonna get used to it. It can be painful, especially if your baby is having trouble latching. And it can be really difficult to breastfeed if you're experiencing pain. Again, make sure to check out the description box. I have some great products for you if you're experiencing pain. Practicing relaxation techniques like deep breathing or meditation can help you stay calm and centered during feedings. Another great tip I have for you along with this topic is kind of do some deep breathing exercises for those first 15 seconds in the beginning when baby latches. This pain is not going to last forever. Your body is going to get used to this, but it can be excruciating when you're initially getting used to it. I get it. I've been there, mama. Just take some deep breaths and try and count to 15 and see if that helps at all. That really helped me. My 8th tip for you is to seek support. Breastfeeding can be challenging, and it's important to seek support if you're struggling. Reach out to a lactation consultant, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, or reach out to a breastfeeding support group for help and advice. You can also talk to other moms who have breastfed for support and guidance. Remember, you're not alone. Breastfeeding can be a wonderful bonding experience for you and your baby. With these simple tips, you can make breastfeeding easier and more comfortable for both you and your baby. Remember to be patient with yourself and kind. And be patient with your baby. This is a new process and you're both learning. Don't hesitate to seek help from a lactation consultant or other breastfeeding support resources if you need it. Thank you again for watching. I hope these tips have been helpful, and I'll see you again in the next video.